Do you want to learn how to make your clients, your customers, even your managers, your colleagues absolutely love you? Then this is it. This is it. So keep watching until the end of this video because what I'm about to share with you today is a story of marketing, of sales, of customer service in a way that is human, that is relatable, something you can understand. Not like the concepts, these dry concepts, the shit they teach us in school that only belongs in an essay, it has no place in real life. So, anyway, check this out. Last weekend, I had to take my kid to the emergency room because he broke his ankle. So, we rushed over there. And once we got there, they received us into a treatment room. And, the doctor came in. The kid was obviously in pain, so he was screaming his heart out. So she sat down next to him and started asking him questions like, how are you feeling? What happened? Standard questions like this. But she got him to express himself, express his pain in his own words. And I could tell as an observer that this made him feel better. They obviously gave him some pain medicine to take the edge off. They carried on with their medical checks. They did the scans and so forth. They determined there was a fracture. And, they put on the cast. They even asked him what cast he wanted, what color was his favorite color, so they can put it around the cast. So considering the circumstances, the kid was feeling pretty good. So you must be sitting there thinking like, okay, duh. This is what doctors are supposed to do because it's all about the kid. It's all about the patient. They're supposed to give him a good experience, good treatment, etc. But let me ask you a question. Is it really just about the kid? Is it? Because who was in that room besides the kid? Who was in that room besides the kid and the doctor? You're right. It was me. It was the parent as well. At some point, she was, providing treatment. She turns around, the doctor, she looks at me and she says, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And I was a little bit surprised by the question. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling okay. Thanks for asking. I'll be good when he feels good. And she said, no, how are you feeling with these guilt emotions and all that? And in my mind, I was like, whoa, God damn. Are you treating me also right now? Am I also a patient? But she was right. It's not just about the kid. There was an aching parent in that room as well. There was a parent in pain that walked into that emergency room that day. The kid's pain is physical. The parent's pain is emotional. So the doctor, she said, these accidents happen a lot. There's no need for guilt or anything like that. And she started coaching me and helping me with my emotional pain. And I really appreciated that. So by the end of it, I can tell that both of us were, happy with the experience, and we felt that it compensated for an unfortunate, ruined afternoon. And God forbid, I don't want this to happen again, but driving back home, just reading my son's face, I could tell that he would happily go back to that emergency room. Why am I telling you all this? It's not about emergency rooms. It's not about doctors. It's not about kids. It's not about broken bones. It's about providing an experience to your customer so they are beyond satisfied. So they love you and keep coming back for more. So if you take this positive experience that we had at the emergency room and compare it to a situation, for example, where you walk into a coffee shop and there is a grumpy, pissed off person behind the counter. So you go up to order your coffee. Hey, can I have an espresso? And they're like, hey, here you go, here's your espresso, fuck off, without saying it, right? And all you're thinking is like, shit, man, I didn't even want a coffee this morning, right? I'm never coming back to this place ever again. And obviously this is an extreme situation, right? So I invite you to be always thinking about where you stand in this spectrum between, on one extreme, the pissed off, grumpy coffee barista person, and on the other extreme, the super awesome emergency doctor. Where do you stand? How are you behaving in regards to your customers? And when I say a customer, I don't always mean somebody who has purchased something with you via money transaction. No. A customer can be your colleague, could be a manager, it could be a stakeholder you're giving a presentation to, it could be a pissed off customer on the phone, right? Even as an employee, you could have customers, right? This is how you should be looking at people you're interacting with, right? And look, in this channel, we teach you to not look at yourself as an employee. Even if you have a job, you're not an employee. A one-person business is what you are. You need to be looking at yourself as a one-person business. And a business has to have customers. So you need to change your mindset. But more on this topic in other videos. Anyway, you need to, every time you're interacting with a customer, you need to be thinking about where you stand currently in your interaction or the experience you're giving. Where do you stand on that spectrum between, the pissed off coffee barista on the one side, on this lowest possible service level, all the way to, the awesome emergency doctor we talked about, right? So that's one. Number two, you need to be asking yourself, am I looking at my customer as a means to an end, as a wallet or as an account or something like that? Or rather, am I looking at them as a human being? I don't know where I read this, but human beings are bags of emotions. So when you're interacting with a customer, when you're providing an experience to the customer, you need to be thinking of them as a bag of emotions, right? So how are they feeling? Are they thinking of themselves or thinking of someone else? What's making them feel pain? What's making them feel good at that particular point in time or in the future, right? So you need to be taking all these parameters into consideration when providing the experience to your customer. You need to take yourself out of your own shit and put yourself in the customer's shoes, okay? Look, in the current market, competition is absolutely insane. There's so much competition. AI. Have you heard of AI? Well, AI is coming to take your job whether you like it or not. So you need to be smart about this. You need to be thinking ahead. You need to start looking at the value you're providing to your customers, not just in terms of what you're strictly being paid for, but also as a experience that you're giving to your customers, as a human-driven experience, if you will. Successful companies are already doing this. Employees, consultants, not so much. Okay, so this is obviously nothing new, but it's also not easy, right? So I hope the concepts, the principles, and the examples that I shared with you today can help you move more towards that direction. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. And subscribe for more videos on this and related topics. Talk to you soon.